So what is the coolest 911 option you can get? There are lots of cool options. Let's not talk about the seats, let's not talk about the wheels. What's the coolest option you can get if you're speccing a new 911? A 911 GT3 or GT2 RS. What's the coolest option? The color. The color is the coolest option. Good morning everyone. It's Monday morning. It's Monday morning in London. I'm back in London. I was in Muscat, Oman last week for a work meeting and now back in London, and guess what? It's raining. Anyway, it was a great weekend here in London. It was actually really nice weather. It's just a rotten day today. So in the flat. Yeah, so today I thought I'd do a Porsche video. I've been thinking about, I've actually been looking a lot on Instagram. There's a couple of really good people on Instagram who do a lot with the paint to sample or the custom colors for the 911s. I have lots of images of cars that have been delivered to the US. I think mainly the US actually. There's some in, maybe there's some in Europe as well. But yeah, I think it's a really exciting time. I think the fact that the GT cars have become very popular. I mean, so popular that you can't even, you know, I was looking at the configurator for the UK here yesterday for the GT3, and basically it says limited availability. So basically, good luck. Good luck if you want to get a GT3. We probably won't have one, but you can configure it anyway because you probably won't get the allocation. Yeah, so I was just thinking about the paint to sample colors and how exciting it is with the GT3 and all the GT cars, especially even the 911R. You could do paint to sample, and I know paint to sample or custom colors have been around for a while, and a lot of other manufacturers do it. But I think Porsche's paint to sample option is a really exciting option, and it's great to see Porsches in crazy colors. I mean, did you see the lizard green GT2 RS, the spy shots that were released last week? I mean, that's just showing you that even Porsche are going to release their press cars in these colors, you know, instead of silvers and blacks and whites. And I love the GT silver, I love the Carrera white. You know, I'm not a big fan of black in the 911. I saw the guy on YouTube yesterday who had one of the first GT2 RSs to be delivered in the UK, and it looks okay in black. I didn't fancy the red interior, but the black looks okay, I guess. But I wouldn't pick black in a 911. Anyway, the paint to sample option. So you know the paint to sample colors you can get. I mean, Riviera blue, Mexico blue, the green that Shimmy 150's got, which I can't remember the name of, which I'm not a fan of either. Ruby, is it Ruby Rose or Ruby Red? That color that's supposed to be red, which is pink, which I've seen in a GT3 in Seen Through Glasses video. I won't link it actually, but I've just been pointing up here just in case. He showed one in Italy, I think. It was a new GT3 991.2 in that Ruby Rose color. I wouldn't get it, but it's something kind of nice about it. There's something nice about it. I know it's a bit pink, but there's something nice about it. You know, what other colors? There's so many colors. Anyway, let's take a look at them. Let's have a look and have a chat about paint to sample or custom colors on your 911. Especially the GT3 if you can get one, or GT3 RS is pretty good too. I mean, when you order a paint to sample color, you know, you're ordering a unique color. You're ordering something special. You know, there's a lot of 911s on the road. There's not so many GT3s or GT3 RSs or Turbo S's, but you know, I don't know whether you would pick paint to sample in a base Carrera. I mean, I would pick paint to sample in a GTS. I think that would be a good option. But if you're getting a GT3 or a GT2 RS or the new GT3 RS, people that got the 911R, like I said, were doing paint to sample colors. I mean, it's not a cheap option. And if you take this option up, you have to be aware that your color may not appeal to everyone. And, you know, it might be harder to resell. But the fact is, if you can afford it, why not get the color in your car, in your dream Porsche that you actually want? The only problem I have with paint to sample, all these custom colors, is that a lot of them are older colors, you know, from the 70s and 80s, some of them. So, you know, when Porsche pick a color, or when any car manufacturer pick a color for a model, they work out the fact that the colors will work well with the shape of the car. I mean, the car has, the car is iconic. The 911 is an iconic car. It's full of, it's Porsche DNA, Porsche design DNA from the 70s, 80s, 90s, up to now. There's always that element of Porsche DNA. But they pick certain colors because certain colors work with the curves of the car and the wideness of the car. And you have to be really careful that the paint to sample color you choose will actually suit the 991.2 GT3 that you've bought. Luckily today, so many people are ordering paint to sample that there's so many online that you can see. There's so many on Instagram. I mean, paint to sample GT3 Instagram accounts and GT4 accounts and GT3 RS accounts, and you can see the colors. There's so many great colors, and you get to see all these colors like the slate gray, like the other gray. What's that other gray called? I can't think of it. The other gray, and then there's the greens, and then there's the purples, and then there's the blues, and then there's the, there's so many colors you can choose from. It's really endless. I went onto the Porsche configurator yesterday for the US, and on the Porsche configurator for the US, it actually showed up. It showed up with the, it showed up as custom color option, and I think it was, is it 12,000 something US? I think it was 12,000 US for the paint to sample. On the UK configurator, I couldn't see it. It doesn't come up with that option. Maybe you have to do it when you go to the dealer. Maybe it's not something you can do online on the configurator. Unless I missed it. Maybe I missed it. Don't quote me here. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But yeah, so you buy paint to sample. You know that there could be a slightly harder. It might be a slightly harder sell to resell your car, but you have something unique. You have something unique that fits the brand, that makes your Porsche look pretty special, especially if you're getting, like I said, a GT car. The other thing you have to keep in mind when you get a paint to sample color is the lead time. The US configurator yesterday said it was 6-month lead time on a GT3, I think it was, I was looking at, GT3. This is just for the color. This is not even that's if you can get the allocation for a GT3. That's if you can get your order actually in. It's saying if you pick that color, there is a 6-month lead time. So you have to be willing to wait. So if you're in a hurry to get your 911, then you probably should just pick one of the standard colors or one of the more readily available colors. Chalk, crayon, whatever it's called, is a great color. I love that color in the GT3. But you have to be aware that you will have to wait to get the color that you want. The other thing which I thought was quite interesting, I can't remember what color it was, but when you order paint to sample, you have to remember that if you order your brakes, if you order steel brakes, which are red, or you order the ceramic brakes, which are yellow, you have to be sure that that color works with the exterior color that you've chosen. I mean, there is a risk that you could get a paint to sample color and you've got the yellow brakes and you've got the lime car, and I don't know about you, but I don't like the yellow and the green together. Even though yellow and green do go, I wouldn't have it. But I guess. But then again, you see the red brakes on the purple. It looks okay because it's sort of the same color family. It kind of works. But it is something you have to keep in mind, that the color of your brakes, being steel or ceramic, and the color of your wheels. Do you get the silver wheels? Because some of these paint to sample colors, I noticed, they look better with the standard silver wheels. Not with the satin black, not with the platinum, even though I love the platinum. It actually looks better, and I think the green is one of them, that bright green like the one that Shimmy picked. I think it looks better when it's got silver wheels. But personally, I think the ultraviolet looks better when it's got silver wheels, like in the GT3 RS when it's just the silver standard wheel. I think it looks much better than the black wheel. Other colors I think are better with satin black, some are better with satin platinum. So, configuring your 911, especially if you order paint to sample, is you should look at it and relook at it again. But like I said, Instagram is a great tool. There's so many images on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, join it and just just follow all the Porsche guys, because there's so much on there. Oh, you can follow my Instagram too. The link is actually down below. It's not here. It's in the description. I have 2 Instagrams, one for me and one for the car. You can follow both if you like. The one for the car has just mainly Porsche, pictures of Porsches, mainly my Porsche, and other ones I see in the wild. But I do have 2. But the fact that you can get paint to sample, and you're not limited. You are not limited by the color choice. You can have pretty much whatever color you want to choose. I think that's a great thing, and it makes your car so special, and it's such a great thing. And seeing all these GT cars out on the road, and seeing all these GT cars being purchased, it's annoying because you can't get one, and it keeps and the price of the 991.1 is still sitting really high, and the 997.2 GT3 is sitting high. But, you know, if you're in the market for one, it makes it harder. But the fact that everyone is enjoying GT cars and ordering them in these great colors, I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great thing for the brand. I think it's a great thing for us guys that love Porsche, that we can see all these colors on the road. I mean, some of the colors, you know, we might remember from the 80s. I remember some colors, seeing them when I was young, and seeing these colors, you know, in the Porsche dealership in Sydney. And, you know, especially the browns and the greens, you know, which were like really prominent at that time. Brown, green, and the red. I always remember those three colors in what was it called? Scuderia, I think it was. Scuderia in Rushcutters Bay in Sydney, where the dealer used to be down there. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. Anyway, just a quick video today. Just want to have a chat with you guys. Let's call this a Porsche chat, because it's kind of a Porsche chat. There's not a lot of visuals. It's just me talking. You know, I've been thinking about doing podcasts, and I've been thinking about doing things like this, but I kind of like having these one-on-one. I know guys aren't talking to me straight away and immediately, but I feel like I'm just chatting, and I feel like it's just talking about Porsche stuff and talking about all those things that I would if we were standing next to our car or going on a drive together. Speaking of drives, I missed the Porsche Autohaus Hamilton drive on Sunday. I always seem to be away when these drives are happening. I noticed their calendar actually for the year, so I'm going to try and plan to be in Sydney at least for a couple of those drives, so I can at least go on a couple of drives with Autohaus Hamilton and all those cars. I saw the pictures on Instagram and on their Facebook. It looks great. It looks great. This is what's great about the Porsche community. It's coming together, sharing our love for the car, and chatting. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.